Hello, everyone. It's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. I have a I don't think you'd call it. I'm gonna call it a junk journal because it's not an art journal. I've made this for a man. This is my first masculine journal that I have made, and I have made it for a friend who has helped me so much with my computers and just answering advice questions that I have for him. So I thought I would make him a junk journal to use for like a daily planner or, you know, note keeping, whatever he wants to do with it. So it's kind of naked, and that way he can do with whatever he wants on the inside of it. He has his own, oh, I should have gotten it. He has his own um YouTube, and he was going to open it up and look at it for the first time on his YouTube channel, Bazzy something. I don't remember. Anyway, this is for him, and I tried to make it as masculine as I could. It is not what was in my mind. I wanted it more of a relic, more of something looks like you dug out of the dirt in an archaeological find. I wanted it to look old and tattered, but I'm getting there. I talked to Val from Val Loves to Create. Is that what it is? Val Loves to Create. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. On Instagram. And she did a Zoom meeting with me last weekend and gave me advice and showed me a technique that she uses. And I'm telling you, people, it's like I had been set free that weekend. I was so inspired and felt so much lighter than what I had felt that I couldn't wait to start creating. And besides letting glue dry, I did this entire book this last weekend. I mean, in one weekend, I put this book together. So that was amazing, I think, for me. And I'm on my way to figuring out the grunge and the relic look, like Seth Apner. Seth Apner? I can't remember anybody's name. Anyway, here it is. My friend Chris loves computers and electronics and cameras and all kinds of stuff. So I found in my little box of what's a doozies this thingy McJigger that you put in, I believe back in the day it was either in a radio or a TV. So I put this on the cover, an old square nail, and a horse tooth. I have 3 signatures in it. I bound it with a strip of leather. I tried to make the beads as manly as I could. I have an old nut on there. I have glass beads, and Chris loves Dr. Pepper, and I found one Dr. Pepper cap in my box of hundreds of bottle caps, but I only had one Dr. Pepper, so I felt like that was destiny. On the inside, this is actually part of my binding. I used old material muslin because I used for my spine a piece of cardboard, so I sandwiched the cardboard in between the material and the leather on the outside and glued it all together, and then punched holes in it with my crocodile and put that together. So this is just my little thank you note to him. Oh, it's wet from glue. So that's my little thank you note to him. I'll let that dry. Old book pages. I have just things that looked manly, like this Roman architecture. I tried to coffee dye most everything I could. Map page. Val showed me how to sew this material and then sew one in the center to put it in your binding. So that was so much easier than what I've been doing. I've been trying with material, but I was making it so hard that she just showed me a much easier way. This was a cute napkin that I kind of thought looked masculine, so I put it on a book page in there. Some eco print that I did, a little goose pocket with a tag in it, some smash paper. This is an old piece of paper bag that I made, and this was, Val gave me some ideas on how to grunge things up with spray inks and what have you. So this was my first attempt at that. You can't see it, but this is an old leather book spine that was actually on this book. And when I used my matte gel medium to put it on, it completely turned it from this color leather to black. Isn't that crazy? So I had an old piece of wood veneer, so I made a little notepad here. I tried to make as many places for him to write that I could. I call this my little flip, but it's really not, because it's just got some papers that you can take out and look for. I tried to make it interactive. He loves coffee, so I put that on a coffee filter. There's an old 1943 letter from home, and this is the letter that was in it. An old hymn out of a little bitty hymnal. A picture and a train. So that's stuff. This is another piece of wood that I just spray inked and put some gears around it, and an old tape measure, cloth tape measure, and just stuff that, like a kid's interactive book, but something I thought adults would like to play with and look and enjoy also. Come on. I'll put that together later. A little pocket over here with a tag, a little peg leg tag in it. A vintage card from a movie. More eco print. Some more of my vowels showing me how to insert things with the cloth tabs. This is just the other side of that signature. Other side of that first page. Signature number 2 is coming. See, I'm working on, but this stuff I didn't know how to grunge up very much. So it's still kind of scrapbooky looking, but he loves to cook. So I found this cute little vintage cookbook. I thought I'd tuck that in there for him. He plays music for his church, so I found sheet music I stuck in there. Here's a little tag in a pocket. This was his coffee bag from home, his favorite coffee. So I folded it up and sewed it together and made like a pocket for him. And a little poem. More music stuff. And this is just a feather that I got this idea from Tiff, the Southern Gals Designs. I noticed she had a feather as a bookmark. I thought that was really cool. I thought he would enjoy that. So I made him a feather bookmark like Tiff's. This is the other part of his coffee bag. And I made this little envelope. It's just got some fun stuff in it. And I just tied it together with a string. I saw somebody else on YouTube do that. All my ideas I see YouTube. This is an old slide projector instruction booklet, so I stuck that in his little pocket. Book page, smash paper. Then I put a little note paper on this side, and he could write on that. Here's another little notepad that I just sewed together. A bunch of, grid paper. Put it on an old recipe card for a pocket. Another little writing space. Just an old gear. I'm sorry about the shadows. It's really late at night here, and I'm just out in my studio finishing up. just a couple magazine pages that I thought looked manly, so I sewed the material down through there. Just little things to look at. Old stuff out of a tractor. Minneapolis Moline tractor implement instruction booklet. I thought this would be a little tuck area, and it's place to write, tracing paper, map, and another recipe card in a pocket. Another place to write. Just fun stuff. He can do whatever he wants on these. He can write in it. And then I just tried to decorate the back. I put some wire on it and an old rusty washer and just tried to do a little, you know, grunge that looks manly. So there it is. That's my guy journal. And I'm really proud of it. I have a ways to go, but it was a learning experience, and I had a blast, and I could not have done this had Val not helped me free myself up a little bit to just cut loose and grunge. So I hope you enjoyed my journal. I can't wait for Chris to open it up. I'm taking it over to his house tomorrow. I was going to put a tie around this, but I just didn't want to cover all this up. So it's just going to stay open, and I'm going to wrap it in this old piece of... I coffee dyed this, you guys. This was, I don't know if you already know this, but I just accidentally did this. It was wet with my coffee, and I went over to my iron to dry it real quick because I'm impatient. And it scrunched up and stuck to the iron, so wherever it scrunched up, it actually made this print, which I think looks like kind of like rusted material. So that was a wonderful happy accident. I went ahead and did it to the whole thing and loved it. And then I'll tie this old tie, or you know, this other coffee dyed tie around it. So there you go. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough of my little gift that I made, and I'm excited to try some more guide journals, and I'll put them in my Etsy shop one day. And have a good evening, have a good rest of the week, and I hope you all are healthy and blessed, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting me in my Etsy shop, and thank you for all of your wonderful comments and your support that you do watching my videos. Have a great day and a great week. Bye-bye from Birdie.